everybody? So, today, we're just going to rip on relationships because that's probably the question we get most frequently asked is relationship advice. How to trust somebody, how to deal with getting cheated on. Do you stay with someone that cheated on you? The whole spectrum is what we're going to cover today.
Let's get it.
We have nothing written down. Ty might in this book here. Oh, he does. Okay. But me and, for the most part, we're all going off dome.
We always go off dome, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually prepare for these, but I have nothing prepared, so
absolutely nothing.
Excited to see where this goes.
Honestly. So, where do we begin?
So, I would say to any relationship, the skill of listening is absolutely crucial. Like, you can't have a relationship with anyone, anything, without having the skill of listening.
Right.
It's just baseline. You build upon that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of self-evident why listening is important, but what would you say would be the aspects of a good listener?
A good listener, you really sit back and give that person your full undivided attention. Eye contact is one of the most important things to this.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
especially in a relationship. If you guys are not
God.
looking each other in the eyes all the time, like I don't know if you're right with like the right person.
I mean, it's kind of sexy. Like,
Dude, it's
low-key,
no
bro.
cap.
Eye contact
contact
is
is
everything.
very intimate too. Like you can look at someone across like the whole room and you'd be like, "Wow, I felt that."
Yeah.
Like I dead ass felt that.
facts. That's facts.
That's fucking crazy.
Even when you like lock eyes with someone in public,
Like a
like
stranger.
you get like a rush of endorphins, and you're like,
Yeah.
I mean, because
Like,
you know that they're looking at you.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
you checked each other out at the same time.
and then
it's
you start thinking about
that's like the platform for you to actually approach that person.
Yeah, if you catch them looking at you and they look away really fast, they're probably into you, but they probably don't have that confidence, which is
You already know.
which is what happens. A lot of people lack it nowadays.
I mean, if you make eye contact with a girl, like in any situation, like in a situation where she does not have to be looking at you, but she is, like she probably like is interested.
she's looking over there for a reason.
Yeah,
She's
I
literally,
mean, I don't think a girl would look at you if they don't have a reason.
yeah,
to.
they're not just gonna look at him and be
Right.
like, "Oh, this dude's ugly. I'm just gonna keep looking at this ugly ass."
That's what I'm
dude."
saying. I mean, that's what guys do, but I don't think.
All right,
Yeah,
basically,
that's facts. That's facts. So basically, eye contact. To sum all that up right there, eye contact, crucial in anything, you know. And whenever, like, sometimes I'll look at a girl and I'll get flustered. I'll be like, wow, well, damn. But like, one thing I remind myself, and I think everyone should remind themselves in those situations, is breathe.
Right.
Cool yourself off, bro. Like, it's just a girl.
Right.
Right.
It's just a girl.
Right.
You can approach them if you really want to. And, like, if you really want to, there's a really good way to approach someone. And people overthink it, you know? They're like, what do I say when I first go up to someone?
Yeah.
And all you need is the first line. It's literally it's all you need. Everything
that builds. Everything else builds
everything
upon
else is
that.
going to play itself out.
Borderline, you just need to understand that everyone is a human. You know,
Everyone.
Don't put people on this spectrum. Like, everyone is equal.
Yeah.
Like, we are all human beings. We're as equal as everyone's just
Yeah.
so...
I think the best way to get
Yeah.
over anticipation and anxiety is just to just say fuck it and do it. Like,
Dude, when you say
you gotta
fuck
just
it,
throw yourself into the situation. That's the only way you're gonna get comfortable doing it.
when you say fuck it, something in your brain literally just shuts off. You're just like, all right,
Yeah.
I just said fuck it. I have to do it now. But back to what I was saying about that, you just need that one line. And it's the simplest line ever. And I feel like everyone should have this in their arsenal. You literally just go up. You just go up to them.
You have to have it.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said in my arsenal. Let's hear
You
it.
go up to them and you just say, you know, I saw you, and I really would have regretted not coming up and saying something. So here I am saying something.
That's fair.
And they're
That's
gonna be
fair.
flattered. They're gonna be flattered.
Yeah.
Because no one does that nowadays.
Yeah.
So if you do that, you're already pretty much in there. If they laugh
Right.
about it, they're like,
I mean, dude, just the fact of approaching someone in real life, like with like technology and social media, like
you gotta
I feel.
confidence.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like girls primarily get approached like in the DMs nowadays.
That's it.
So it would probably be refreshing for someone to actually get approached on a personal level. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it
It
feels
means a lot
good.
more.
It feels better than
dude,
just
they'll
a
think about it
DM.
the rest of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so much more meaningful than
Yeah.
you
Right.
sliding into the DMs.
Say, hey, what's up, shawty? In the
100%.
DMs, like, come on, like, they're on two different spectrums.
It's like you're
Right.
behind a screen. You could be saying anything. Like,
Yeah.
Anyone.
Right.
Anyone
Anyone
can say anything.
and I feel like that's one of the reasons why a lot of times dudes and girls will have such sour interactions. It's because we're not face to face with the person. Like, it's just not a legitimate social contact. Like,
You
when
can be so rude.
right
if
when
you
you're
want
like
to.
when you're speaking to someone, like and they're actually in front of you, you're not gonna say some disrespectful shit because the person will get offended.
Yeah.
And it
you'll
will start a fight.
You'll see
like,
their.
it will
like,
start a conflict.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
right.
if you're not even looking at the person, if it's like behind a screen, I mean, you're gonna say whatever you want. Like
Yeah, you don't care about their emotions when it's over a screen.
right. I mean, you don't
To
have,
an extent.
You don't
Yeah,
have
to an
like,
extent, yeah, to a very big extent, because
Right.
like obviously, a majority of people keep other people's emotions in mind.
Yeah.
But like for example, if some dude's scrolling on Tinder, like
So
who's up, bitch?
Yeah.
Like it could be like
anything.
it could be ruthless.
Right.
It could
It's
be
like
literally so ruthless.
the consequences of like mishandling it are removed.
Yeah. So I think we should dabble in trusting your significant other if they have done something
Okay.
to hurt your trust or some shit like that.
Okay.
Like they were talking to a dude, you told them that like you don't want them talking to, or like they were talking to a girl you didn't want them talking to. Like how do you rebuild from that?
I mean, rebuild from
You have to have the
your
trust,
significant
man.
other breaking your trust.
Yeah, like rebuild the trust in the relationship.
Man, it's
That
tough.
takes time.
Time.
I think it's the devil's in the details with things like this. I think it depends like what the person did to betray you.
Yeah.
It depends what level of trust you guys were at before that. I mean, a lot of times that's just a hump that you can't get over. I mean, oftentimes
Sure.
you can,
A
but
lot.
sometimes you can't. I mean, the devil's in the
Dude,
details.
it takes a
here.
lot of work to rebuild trust. Like it is
much.
months of them like not doing anything to break your trust, because every time they break your trust even a little bit, the cycle restarts. So oftentimes if you don't have trust in a relationship, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So like you have to have trust or a relationship will not work.
Right.
Completely
Just be
agree.
consciously aware of the other person's emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't do anything to hurt their emotions, then you shouldn't break trust.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Just take into account the other person.
And then also try to figure out if they did break your trust, why they did that. Like, and if they were drunk, I don't think that's a good enough excuse. There's always a deeper, depending if they were like absolutely shit faced.
Is any excuse good enough?
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here. Like there are certain trans. Oh my god.
God damn.
Yeah.
No, there's certain like transgressions that a girl can make that there really isn't a good excuse for. Like, there's nothing you can say that like puts it back together in a way that it was the same as it was before. Especially if a girl cheats on you, like there's no excuse.
No,
for
there's
that.
no excuse.
Like 9 times out of 10, if that happens, you just need to walk away.
You blatantly
no questions asked.
disrespected their emotions if you cheat on someone.
Right.
Blatantly. Like, there's no way that in the back of your mind their emotions weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just disrespectful entirely. And if someone can't appreciate you for what you are and respect you for what you are, like, why are you wasting your time with toxicity?
Right.
So, like, I
We
feel
have
like,
a big problem with cheating in society,
dude,
especially
it's the
with
phone,
people
bro.
our
It's the
age.
phone.
Yeah,
It's the phone.
it's actually really bad.
Dude, I feel like a lot of it has to do with like people just not knowing what they not knowing what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
Yeah, you hop into a relationship and
Right.
it's
You have to be
you aren't
committed.
certain, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're just
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people aren't
your
really ready.
emotions are rampant,
Exactly. Like,
and you get thrown this new
Yeah.
scenario, and you're like, "Oh, I'll jump on that."
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
instinctive.
yeah,
Like,
I just had a good thought. So, I mean, traditionally, relationships is like you don't have kids outside of marriage. Like, you don't even have sex unless you're married. And like, if you did have a kid, like if your wife or not your wife, if your girlfriend got pregnant like out of wedlock, you would marry them off bat. Like, that's just how it went. And obviously, there's pros and cons to that. It's incredibly restrictive, and I think we've gone in a good step to get away from that. But you have to understand that there's a reason why things were like that.
Yeah.
Like at that point in time, like back when women didn't have as effective contraceptives, like that was really the best way for things to be for like both sexes.
Yeah.
I mean, things are different now, so it's a little harder to say, but I mean, like I think having one person like is important. Like, I mean, if you just hop around between a bunch of people,
You're
like,
never going to be fulfilled, I don't think.
I mean,
because you're always going to be wanting to have something better.
right.
And, like,
Right.
it'll just lead to this empty hole inside of you.
Yeah, I mean, like, a certain amount of change is good for people, but at the same time, like, people need consistency or they're just
Yeah.
lost.
you're right.
Consistency.
Change is good, but the consistency will
Is
eventually
key.
be where it's at. Like when you start
Right.
slowing down in life and you can't do as much as you used
Yeah.
to do, and everyone else your age is settled down and stuff. It's just it's gonna catch up. You know.
Dude, all this talk about relationships makes me really think we got to get a feminine presence on the podcast.
Oh,
Alrighty.
Like, I'd love to
A feminine.
dabble in that.
Yeah, that'd be dope. We'd have a totally different perspective.
Exactly.
An entirely.
Always looking for that new perspective.
Yeah, but who do we want as a girl? Do we want someone incredibly girl, or a good middle? Like where they
Incredibly
can,
girl.
they can
Wow.
they can like, you know what I mean though. Like,
Yeah, no, I do know what you mean. I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be cool to have a bunch of different type of people.
Yeah, dude, we should start having guests on low key.
Dude, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I feel like people would enjoy that too. So
Yeah.
we'll start reaching out to people.
Just hearing the new perspective.
We gotta get Saucy Dog on here. Saucy
We do,
Dog.
we do.
I don't know who that is.
Wrecker.
Oh, Wreck Dog.
Yeah, that'd be
We
an
for sure
interesting
gotta get
character.
him.
Or Pete. Oh man,
That would be fun.
that would be
To
fun.
hop back to the relationship conversation, I would say another insanely key prospect to the relationship is your intention.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right intention and you don't actively voice your intention, how are you gonna get that? You're just not gonna be fulfilled. So you really need to get that point across
Right.
to the other person.
I mean, as cliche
It's
as
so
it sounds,
facts. It's so
communication is key. Like, it's not. It blows my mind how people are able to connect at all. Granted, how different each of us is individually. Like,
That's so facts.
people are. They're not going to understand you unless you tell them. Like,
Dead
like how can you even expect? Like,
Everyone's a psychic.
how can you ever expect anyone to understand you if you're not voicing how you feel? Like, people are not mind readers.
No one's
You
mind
have to
reader.
use your words. That's why
you
we have them.
you have to express your intentions, especially like when you're first talking to them. Well, not even first talking to them. After you get to know them a little bit, and you're like, all right, I could probably see something with this person, so I have to voice that I could probably see something with this person, or else I'm going to be in this unknown until I voice my opinion. So,
Right.
what you said exactly, you have to.
And that
Tell them.
unknown is just, it's a feeling of uncertainty, and it
Shitty
just
feeling.
doesn't make you feel fulfilled.
Shitty feeling.
Yeah.
It really is, because you just get kind of trapped in that state of mind where you're constantly thinking, like, this is uneasy. I'm not.
Yeah,
don't
the
know
uncertainty,
what's
bro.
gonna
I mean, I would
happen.
say on the other hand, sometimes that uncertainty is like what like the sexual tension is.
That
Like,
is so true.
yeah. I mean, there's a whole
Damn.
different dimension of this topic that like
Damn.
we could wander into.
Sexual tension, yeah. That should dabble into the heartbreak section, because I know a lot of you guys out there, girls too, just have been completely distraught. It's happened to pretty much everybody. We've all been there. So, how to deal with that in the most proper manner while improving yourself. So, if any of you guys have elaboration, that'd be dope.
Yeah, I think like when you get your heart broken, it's usually because you have some idea of the way that you think things are. Like, you're in a relationship with the girl and you like her, and then all of a sudden you realize she's been cheating on you. It shatters your world, and I think that's what the heartbreak is. The heartbreak is the chaos that you fall into when what you thought something was actually turns out to not have been it at all. And I think in a situation like that, you really have to like take it back to the basics. Like, you need to, I mean, I want to say, it's saying focus on yourself sounds so cliche, but
Literally,
I mean,
you got to.
that's
You
kind
got
of what
to.
you have to do. You have to transition yourself from putting all this time into someone else, and you need to figure out a good outlet for that time, because you don't have that outlet anymore. And a great outlet for your time to get put into is just by improving yourself.
Invest in
Yeah.
yourself, man.
Yeah.
You're
I feel-
your best. You're your
yeah.
own best asset.
Yeah.
I definitely feel
Right.
like the best revenge is success. Because, like,
Right.
when someone sees you
real.
doing completely better than what you used to be, they're like, wow, imagine if I was with him now instead of then. And then by the point you're at that point, you're going to be over them. So, like,
Right.
it'll be such a fulfilling feeling, because it's like I'm better than you now.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
mean-
don't need this.
It's kind of like to look at the other side of that too. Success is the best revenge. That's true. But success is also the best example. Like, if you separate from someone, and let's say they kind of fall off and go into a bad place, and you kind of take the other pathway, and you work on yourself, and you kind of take an upward trajectory, like, the best thing that you can do for that person is set an example of like what someone should be doing. Like,
Yeah, wow.
being like success is the best revenge, but I mean, it's not even revenge, because by being successful, ideally that person looks at that success and I mean, if they take it the right way, then it should inspire them to do the same thing with themselves. I mean, either that or they just look at it and think, damn, and grow bitter. I mean, but that's up to the person to decide which way to take that.
It's totally how you take it.
Yeah.
Heartbreak is one of those. I feel like it's one of those things that I feel like everyone needs to go through it. Like,
oh my God,
for sure.
Dude, you need to. Everyone needs to
Yeah,
experience this
sure.
because then you can talk about it on a deeper level with others, and you can relate in so many great ways.
Yeah, you will reach like new lows, but those lows like propel you.
They do
into your like happiness.
I mean, you could be in those lows for a while, and
hot minute,
definitely,
which is totally normal. Like,
correct.
It takes time to rebuild your brain psychology practically, and your like it just takes time to get over.
That's truly what it is, though.
Yeah.
You have to rebuild your brain.
You have to.
You have to just make your mind a better place to be in.
And you have to,
your
like,
mind state is so key.
Yeah, and you have to like come to peace with the past. You have to understand why everything happened,
important.
and you like can't regret anything of it because at one point it was exactly what you wanted. So like, you just have to understand who you were in order to become a better you now.
Dude, that's honestly such a fantastic point. I think that's kind of like what trauma is when you have an unresolved past. Like, if you have like a certain part of your life or a topic where whenever you think about it, you experience an emotional reaction, I mean, that's a good sign that there's something in there that you haven't quite figured out. Like, you haven't found a way to like work that into the narrative, which is your life.
It goes back to what you said, negative emotion is a call for change.
Exactly.
So you just have to figure out what you have to come to a self-consensus with. You have to understand your emotions, understand why they're that way, and be at peace with it.
Yeah, I mean, hypothetically speaking, let's say there's like a young girl, really nice, like full of love. She meets a dude who's generally a good guy, but the dude gets big head and takes advantage of her. It's like it can be true that you can be responsible for the bad things that happen to you, like to a certain degree. Like, yes, it's true that in that situation, that guy was clearly like a bad actor.
Yeah.
But it's also true that like you gave your trust to that person.
True.
Right.
So it's like there's
so
always
tricky.
two sides to it. It is so tricky. It is so tricky.
That's when time really comes into play. Like, really get to know a person, and like don't rush into things.
Right.
Because
That's
you
quite
have the
important.
rest of your life, you know. So why would you rush it away? Just sit back and truly, fully understand that person.
Did we just get hoed?
What the fuck just happened?
It stopped the video.
It's off now.
So you'll
Shit. All right. Well, the GoPro overheated, so we're just gonna have to talk the outro. Hopefully, that's not too big of a problem. But we pretty much touched base on everything we wanted to touch base on. Comment anything critique-wise that we can improve on, or if you have any questions that we could put into the podcast, let us know. So we're just gonna end it on that note. Hopefully, that's not too big of a problem. But enjoy your guys' day. Thank you for tuning in.
respect.
Respect. Stay woke.